Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer2Buzzer. All right, guys. So the sixth week of the 2020 NFL season is upon us. And although there is no Thursday night football game this week because of the shifting in schedules, all the games, a majority, will be played on Sunday. However, just like every other week, we'll be making our predictions on the top 5 key matchups. So without any further ado, let's get to it. All right, guys. The first game which we are going to be predicting is going to be the one between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, guys, it's safe to say that these two teams do have quite the history, especially considering last year's incident between Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph, which led to an almost season-ending suspension for Myles Garrett. However, guys, new year, new teams. We've seen the Browns coming off with Baker Mayfield and OBJ connection working very nicely. Who do we got this game?
You know, as I've been saying, I don't want to hop on the Browns bandwagon just yet. So give them some time. Let's see how they do. Especially, I think this game, if the Browns win this game, I think I'm gonna have to hop on the bandwagon. But I'm gonna go with the Steelers for now. Their defense is absolutely elite, and I know I said this with the Colts, but I just think that especially with their Chase Claypool, he got 4 touchdowns last week. Like this receiver is like a star right now. I think he's going to do good against the Browns defense too. Big Ben's doing pretty good this year, surprisingly. Actually, the whole team's doing well. They're a balanced team. The Browns are too. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I think the Steelers will edge them out this game.
As much as I love the Browns, as much as I love Baker Mayfield, you got to go with the logical pick here. I think the Steelers take this game. It's a very close game, I think. I just think they have more experience. Big Ben has more experience, right? They've been in this offense for a longer time. The Browns are missing their top running back, obviously, in Nick Chubb. So I just think Steelers are favorite. Like they're favored in this matchup, and understandably so. I think Steelers should take this.
You know, I'm gonna take the unpopular opinion, Arian. I'm surprised you didn't go with your Cleveland Browns, but I think it's time. I'm gonna hop on the Cleveland Browns for this game. We'll see how this pick rolls. Last time it did not go that well, but this week, the past 2 weeks have been solid. I've seen Baker Mayfield doing some leading and captain-worthy things for a quarterback, as well as Odell Beckham Jr. and Kareem Hunt starting to develop that foundation and working together as a team. Browns having a great season, much better than compared to years past. And I'm going to go with the Browns edging out against the Steelers.
I'm gonna have to go with the Steelers here. I agree with the B and R, and the Steelers team is fantastic, and their defense is elite. And I think where the Browns lose this game is their pass defense. I mean, the Browns' run defense has been phenomenal this year, right? It's attributed to many of their wins this year, but their pass defense is where the problem is. The Steelers are known for having a pass-heavy offense to begin with, and so when you pair that with with the weakness of a Browns defense that is passing, Big Ben can easily have a field day. Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster, they will all go off, and it will cause the Browns to drop this one, but it's gonna be close.
All right, guys. Now let's move on to our second matchup, which we're predicting that being between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Green Bay Packers. Now, guys, I think we can all safely say this is going to be a pretty nice quarterback duel to see between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Tough to pick who we're going to go over here, but who do we got?
No disrespect to Tom Brady at all, but I'm gonna have to go with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I feel like that's an obvious choice at this point. That team is just like they have everything: great offense, good defense. The running game is solid. So same thing with the passing game. Obviously, they have Aaron Rodgers, and the Buccaneers. I don't know. Like I'm not just saying this after they lost to the Bears, but the Packers still have a good defense, and their offense is incredible. So I don't think this is going to be like that close of a game as people expect. I think the Packers are going to easily win this game.
I'd have to go with the Packers here. The Vegas odds say it's a very close game, but you just look at previous games, right? The Buccaneers have had to come back against a rookie quarterback. They lost to Nick Foles, and now they're playing Aaron Rodgers, who's probably number 2 in the MVP conversation. And the Packers have a very stout defense. Even though the Buccaneers are at home, I just don't think Chris Godwin's just coming back from injury. They already lost OJ Howard. I think the Tampa Bay is undermanned, and Aaron Rodgers takes this one against Tom Brady.
Whenever people start to doubt Tom Brady, he performs. After week 1 against the Saints, Max Kellerman was already on First Take saying the Cliff theory is true. I think when they're doubting him for being too old for the league when he forgot what down it was, I think he's going to come back at practice. He's got Chris Godwin back. Mike Evans isn't hobbled by injury. I think the Buccaneers upset the Packers in this game and win it.
I'm going to go with the bad man, as Stephen A. Smith says. We're going with the Packers. Now, guys, surprising to say, but the system which Matt LaFleur has brought is a modern and up-to-date system, which is working with Aaron Rodgers. Also, we've seen the run game slightly improve, and also their pass rush with Jair Alexander. I feel like that the Packers do have a solid momentum going for them. And the Buccaneers, sure, they got Tom Brady. Tom Brady in any moment can turn it up on any time. That's what makes him great. But I feel like Aaron Rodgers will slightly edge out in this game. All right, guys. Now let's move on to our third key matchup, which we're predicting that being between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, guys, the Chiefs being the Chiefs are favored to win this game, despite that interesting loss last week against the Raiders. Now, guys, does last week's loss have any effect for this game? Are the Chiefs going to roll right over?
I don't think it's a roll right over. I think it's going to be one of the best games of the season. Bills have a very good offense. I know they didn't show it yesterday against the Titans, but Josh Allen's still Josh Allen. He's a really, really good quarterback. Obviously, we know what Patrick Mahomes is. I think it's going to be a great quarterback duel, but in the end, I just think that because Buffalo has a lot of injuries in their defense, Patrick Mahomes takes advantage and the Chiefs win this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs as well. Looking at last week's matchup, as the Raiders are like one of those like boomer bust teams, right? And the Bills, I feel like they lost to the Titans recently. I don't know. I just feel like the Chiefs will just outperform them on offense. Like both defenses are not like amazing, but as Arden said, with the missing weapons on the Bills on offense, Patrick Mahomes, I think he's gonna like do what he does every single week, and yeah, they're gonna beat the Bills.
Yeah, I think the Bills' loss to the Titans was indicative of something. It's that this Bills team isn't proven yet. This was the first real hard matchup they have. The Rams. Some say the Rams are good, but their wins come from a deflated NFC East division, so nobody can say how valuable those wins actually are. But this Titans team, they've beaten some big names and they've proven to be a big team, and they just beat they beat a great Bills team, and they've shown that they are good. And now for the Bills, it shows, are their wins inflated or are they actually a contender? And I think here, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they've proved week in and week out, even with the loss to Raiders, that they're a team that you can never count out. So I'm going with the Chiefs on this one.
I really badly want to say the Bills, with considering that Sammy Watkins is out for this game for the Chiefs. However, just considering, like Harsh, you mentioned, the Chiefs and the offensive firepower they bring each week, you got to side with the Chiefs. Although it'll be interesting to see, like you said, we could see a very good game with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes having a notable quarterback duel, but I got to go with the Chiefs edging out. All right, guys, now let's move on to our fourth team matchup, which we are predicting that being between our hometown team, the Chicago Bears, against the Carolina Panthers. Now, guys, we saw what Nick Foles could do last week against TB12. Can he keep that up this week against Teddy Bridgewater?
I think this is my upset of the week for sure. I think the Panthers defense is it's not good at all. Nick Foles is going to take advantage of that for sure. Teddy Bridgewater, he's a gunslinger. He throws the ball a lot. He throws it deep a lot. He throws a lot of picks. I think the Bears defense capitalizes on those turnovers, and Nick Foles wins us his game.
Yeah, this is gonna be my upset of the week too. The Panthers are on a three-game winning streak right now, but I still have to go with the Bears. Arden covered most of it in that Teddy Bridgewater, he throws a lot of interceptions. And as we saw last week against the Buccaneers, the Bears can capitalize on those turnovers. And if they do, that game should be an easy win. But if they really need to, they need to play good in the third quarter. That's their weakness. But yeah, I think they're gonna get the job done. It won't be like a blowout, but I think the Bears will win this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. The Bears, they've proven that they're a team that you can't count out in any situation. They had a poor game against Indianapolis, but they proved against the Buccaneers that they're not a team to be counted out. I think it's gonna be interesting though, with a player on their practice squad testing positive for COVID-19. They did say that they have altered their practicing schedule. So does this mean more practice at different times, less practice? So it's interesting to see what impact that has going on them coming this week. And we know, and we've seen throughout the season, that the run defense is something that they need to work on. And the Panthers have proven to be a very strong run defense team with Mike Davis, even in the absence of CMC. But I still think the Bears edge this one out.
Exactly. Got to root for their hometown team, especially after seeing what they performed last week. I feel like Nick Foles is going to keep on building the foundation. He's finding Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson's been getting open, getting better passes considerably than he had been with Mitch Trubisky. Although the offensive line is still a bit questionable, I feel like the pass rush is improving game by game. And the Bears, they've been doubted every single game. Like you guys can see, the Bears are still not favored to win this game. They're like the first team, I believe, since the Vegas odds who've been doubted this much. And I feel like the doubt's good. Keep on doubting the Bears. They're going to keep on proving more people wrong, and the Bears will win this game. All right, guys. Now let's move on to our final key matchup, which we're predicting that being between the San Francisco 49ers against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, guys, the 49ers do have Jimmy Garoppolo coming back on, despite, we've seen the 49ers experience some major injuries, such as Nick Bosa going down early throughout the season. But the Rams, guys, they've had a pretty good season up this far. They are currently 4-1 and have Jared Goff leading them to this record. Guys, our thoughts on this game?
I'm going to have to go with the Rams here solely because of their offense. You saw what Jimmy Garoppolo did last week. He stunk it up against the Dolphins defense, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, he completely went off against the 49ers defense. We already know the 49ers defense is battered up. So I think the Rams capitalize off of that and win this game.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how different the 49ers can get in 1 year. Looking at their last year's defense, that was no doubt the best defense in the league. And then you go against this defense and the Dolphins put up 43 points against them. Like, that's just crazy. And not even the Rams offense. I think their defense is great too. Aaron Donald, man, that guy's by far the best defensive player in this league. Like, no question. I think he's going to put a lot of pressure on Jimmy G. And Jimmy G has been underperforming recently. And I don't want to say it's too soon that he's like a one-hit wonder, like 1 year wonder. But this year he's not doing that great. But yeah, the Rams for sure on this one.
Yeah, I think, the 49ers depleted defense is sad to see. They were expected to be one of the best in the league. And if they were fully healthy, I have no doubts that they would be one of the best leagues. So it's sad to see these injuries taking the toll on their team. You hate to see it. You always want to watch good football. But I think you have to take into account the depleted football. I think last week's loss to Miami Dolphins was a bit of a mix of Fitz magic and a depleted defense. But, Fitz magic will always hit any team at any time. But I think you have to take the Rams here. They're better in almost the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. You got to take them.
Yeah, exactly. Despite the Rams' record being a bit inflated getting wins against the Washington football team and the New York Giants, I still feel like the Rams are going to win this game. And it's mainly because the 49ers are still getting adjusted, simple to put it. Jimmy Garoppolo, sure, he last year Super Bowl almost winning quarterback, made it to the Super Bowl, but this year just a bit shaky. Like Abhi said, we can't just count him out right away, but I feel like it's going to take a couple more weeks for that offense to get adjusted. And I feel like the Rams can win this game then. All right, guys, it is going to be a great sixth week of the 2020 NFL season. We can't wait. As always, guys, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below your takeaways from these games, any predictions which you have as well. As always, guys, take care. We'll catch you guys on the next one. See you guys.